Hello everyone, it's Sunday in time for a new episode of Record Collecting with a Quill. Theme for today, Kiss Creatures of the Night, the 7 inches. Kiss released a 40th anniversary box set this Friday celebrating the Creatures of the Night album, so I thought it would be a good complement to take a look at all the various 7-inch releases from that album. But before we start, you know the drill, make sure you subscribe, hit that little notice bell and share with your friends. Well, it's been a while since I did a Kiss episode. They always seems to be the most popular one, so I thought it was as the Creatures of the Night box set was released this Friday, I thought it would be a really nice compliment and talk a little bit about the singles released and take a closer look at different variations because as far as I know, I haven't gotten my box set yet. It's in the mail, but I don't think there's anything talking about the singles released. And for once, there wasn't that many. For some reason, they didn't release a lot of singles for this album. Probably because The Elder was a big flop, and I don't know, a couple of countries like France just released a promo version, Italy as well. A lot of those bigger countries didn't release singles, and it's really weird, especially here in Europe, since they did quite a long promotion tour as well. And they also did a video for I Love It Loud. So for whatever reasons, there aren't that many. I think I counted 12 different picture sleeve versions that we will take a closer look on a promo as well, I think. Starting out, well, the first thing that was kind of cool, it's always sort of weird that the US market, Kiss being a band that's sort of a really high profile, a really visual band, never released singles with picture sleeves, but they did for this album. I'm going to put those there. And this is only the second picture sleeve in the US, the first one being Flaming Youth from 1976. But here we got a picture sleeve for I Love It Loud. A nice one is just the cover artwork with the title and just a regular Casablanca label on that one. Staying in North America, Canada also made a really cool. This is a really nice variation. You have this sort of yellow outline on the artwork with the title as well. Same photo, but a totally different label on that one. I think we can take a close look at the back side. Looks like this, back with Danger. I think this one is really cool. The sleeve is quite big for whatever reason. The Canadian sleeves are always a little bit bigger. Traveling across the Atlantic, starting out in the UK. This was a really cool one when you were a kid. The tongue artwork where you can pull this and the tongue goes up and down. And this is the UK release, and they went with really weird choice. They have Killer as the A side for whatever reason, and we will get back to that later. And a really cool, as you can see, a really cool picture label as well. In the UK released, they were, I think, the only country that released 2 different singles. They also released Creatures of the Night later on. First, I think this is the first version where you also have a picture label as well. It's Creatures of the Night back with Rock and Roll All Night Live, and later on same artwork, same cover, but a different label. You have a silver Casablanca label, so there's a variation of that one. Germany, they did a couple of big TV shows when they came to Europe to do press, and Germany released this one, another take with a artwork, and you'll of course have the censored Kiss logo as well, going blue and pink for whatever reason. Doesn't really sort of take the edge away a little bit from the artwork, and you have a regular label there as well. Spain also released, of course, I Love It Loud. This artwork, what makes this a little bit different is you have the title as well here in Spanish. Oops, there you go. And also the old Casablanca logo on that one. Really nice, really small Kiss logo on that one. And then comes this the interesting the country that made some interesting choices, and that's the Netherlands. They released no less than 3 different versions of the same single. The first one being, I don't know which one came first, but we can start out with this one. This is the same as the UK one. The artwork or the sleeve is exactly the same, except they went with I Love It Loud for the A side and Killer for the B side. Don't ask me why, but the cover is the same, but the single is different. Or actually, the artwork is a little bit different, because on the back side, of course, it has I Love It Loud listed as the A side and Killer as the B side. But then comes my favorite, probably one of my favorite artworks of any Kiss single ever, and that's this one. And this is probably one of the first singles I got. And this is, if you look closer, it's a misprint. It says Killers instead of Killer. I don't know if they sort of mixed it up with Iron Maiden. And I believe this was the one I got as a kid. Really cool artwork from the Creature session. And this has always been sort of, when you see it for sale, it's always the misprint version, and that one is supposed to be more difficult to find, and usually fetches a higher price. But from my years of collection, I think the really difficult one to find is this one, with the right title, Killer. Probably because they printed the misprinted version first and it wasn't a big hit, so the second printing with the right cover probably didn't print as many copies of it, but still a really, really nice artwork nonetheless. Then of course Japan, also, you love all those Japanese singles. They released one as well, and you have the Japanese signs, and this is the promo version, the white label promo version. I don't have the regular one, and for whatever reason, I think the promo version is easier to get a hold of, a lot easier than the regular released version. Japanese promos are usually quite easy to get a hold of, and a really nice one nonetheless. Really cool. I always love all those when you get the Japanese lettering as well. Scandinavia also, of course, they came here. They came to Stockholm and did interviews and a little bit of TV. Gene did a TV interview, and Scandinavia, or Norway, Sweden released this one. I think it's, if you look at Hank's, the Kiss 7-inch book, it's listed both in the Swedish section and the Norwegian section. Probably because of, you have the mark in here, NCB, Nordic Copyright Bureau. I don't know, you tell me. I see it as a Scandinavian version. Also a little bit different. You have the logo in silver and a little bit of a different font, but more or less the same artwork, sort of playing on the album artwork as well. And also, as I said, a couple of countries released promos. I'm missing a couple of from I think New Zealand and a couple of other countries, since I tried to stay away from the Kiss singles without picture sleeves, because then there's probably 1,000 or so to collect. But lately I've been starting to buy them as well, and the most apparent one I'm missing is the French I Love It Loud promo. But I managed to obtain this one. Is from Italy, and the only single released in Italy. It's a jukebox single. It's Kiss on the A side, Creatures of the Night, and another artist called Alberto Fortis on the A side, and this was sent out to put in jukeboxes. And you have this sort of jukebox Kiss Creatures, and you have the polygram label sleeve. Nonetheless cool to have, since it's the only Creatures release from Italy apart from the actual album. So that was a little bit sort of taking a closer look at the Creatures singles. As I said, there aren't that many, and they sort of they sort of have the same theme playing on with the artwork, except for the gimmick sleeve and the Netherlands versions, which, as I said, is I think it's kind of weird. Just looking back at sort of the Elder, there's a lot of different variations, and Unmasked as well, and Dynasty. But for I Love It Loud, probably because they weren't really that successful around this time. And there's a lot more cool stuff coming out just for the Lick It Up album and later on as well. So, but if you have those, what is it, 12 different sleeves, picture sleeves, then you have all the variations that are out there. As far as we know, you never know, especially in South America, there's a lot of stuff that's sort of still in the so from time to time new stuff sort of appears from South America, but as far as we know right now, these are the ones to get if you're into Creatures of the Night. Now I'm just hoping I got my box set tomorrow, so I could sort of sit down and have a nice evening just waiting all through this stuff. I've been listening to a couple of there's some really cool demo versions I'm really eager to hear, and some other cool stuff as well. So pick it up if you haven't already. The Kiss Creatures of the Night 40th anniversary box set out now. And also, be sure to follow the Quill on social media. It's the Quill Sweden, and we'll be back next week with a new subject. That's it for now. Cheers. Bye.